kids, welcome back to Sunday School. This week we're going to be learning about helping others and being kind with a story called the Good Samaritan. We have a really fun craft with Laura. She's going to help us make our very own first aid kit, and we have a role play at the end with some of the kids in our church. So don't go anywhere and let's go. You guys had to use a first aid kit? Well, I have one here, and let's have a little squiz and see what's inside. So we have some saline, so this helps go onto the wounds if someone has a cut or bleeding. And we have inside a band-aid. Have you ever had to use a bandage? Maybe if you've cut your arm or had a scrape on your head. We've got another bandage and some band-aids. I'm sure all of you guys have used a band-aid, and this is for all sorts of things. But we're going to be learning about a man today who saw someone who had lots of cuts and lots of bruises because people were mean to him, and he stopped and he got out all of the band-aids and he got out his special saline and he helped that man get better. See, got the band-aid on. And that's what we're going to learn today. So let's start with the story. It's called the Good Samaritan. This story starts with a question. A man came up to Jesus and said, "What do I need to do to go to heaven?" And Jesus answered and said, "What's in the Bible? What does the Bible say?" And the man replied, "Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, and with all your mind. And love your neighbor as yourself." And Jesus said, "Bingo, you got the right answer. Go and do likewise." But the man said, "But teacher, who is my neighbor? Is it the man across the road, or is it the person standing next to me? Who do I need to be kind to?" Jesus answered this story with a parable. He said, there was a man on his way to Jericho from Jerusalem. And then a band of robbers came and stripped him of all of his money and bashed him up and made him so sore and left him bleeding and dying on the side of the road. That wasn't very nice, was it? So he was lying there, and then a priest came past and he saw the man on the side of the road. You would think he would stop, wouldn't you? Because he was a person from church. But he looked around, saw that he was pretty smelly, and he said, "Nah, I need to go to church, I'm going to be late." So he kept going. The man was still there on the side of the road, and in about an hour or so, another man called a Levite was walking down the road. Levites were people who assisted the priests with their work. He would probably help the man, don't you think? But do you know what he did? He slowed down, walked a little closer, and then kept walking without even helping the man at all. A few minutes later, another man came walking past. He was called a Samaritan. The Jews didn't really like Samaritans, and the man that was lying on the side of the road was a Jew. So the Samaritan probably could have just walked past, maybe even laughed at him. But as soon as the man saw the dying man on the side of the road, he went over to him and felt compassion for him. He put some bandages on his arms and he poured some oil and some expensive wine on his wounds to help them not get infected. And he lifted the man on his own donkey and took him to an inn or a hotel to take care of him. The next day, the Samaritan took out enough money so that the man could stay at the hotel until he was well enough to leave. He paid the man at the front desk and asked him to take care of the man. If he wasn't better after about 2 months, the Samaritan would come back and pay for any extra costs. After Jesus finished the story, he said, "Which of the 3 men do you think was neighbor to the man that was left beaten on the side of the road? Was it the priest? Was it the Levite? It was the man who had compassion for him, the Good Samaritan." So Jesus said, do the same. This story tells us that we should be kind to everyone and not feel prejudice against people just because we don't know them or maybe they're a little bit different from us. So next time you see someone that's maybe fallen down or that's a bit upset, you can be kind to them and you can maybe help them with their sores or go and ask someone for help, even if it takes up a little bit of our time or it's a bit inconvenient. It was a bit inconvenient from the Good Samaritan to help the man, but that is what the Lord teaches us, that we should be kind to our neighbour. And remember, who is our neighbour? Our neighbour is anyone who needs help. So let's be kind to someone this week. Maybe find someone even in your family that you can be kind to. And let's be like Jesus.
Hi kids! Today we're going to make this really fun-filled medical bag with band-aids, scissors and a stethoscope and lots more, so that we can be like the Good Samaritan in our story today. Let's see what we need and get started.
This is what we need for the craft today.
So we need the worksheet, the link is below, some pencils, scissors, glue, brown bag or glad bag, some tissues, cotton wool balls or makeup rounds, Q-tips and band-aids. Whatever you have will do.
Kids, now we have a special role play by some kids in our church. So let's get to it.
A man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho.
Oh, Jericho, I need some toilet paper. Oh, that panic button. You see that guy over there? Let's go steal his money.
A priest happened to pass by.
Oh, help!
Oh, I'm late for prayer.
A Levite passed by.
Oh, help!
Ugh, I need to go wash myself now. So unclean.
A Samaritan saw a man. He felt sorry for him.
Are you alright, sir? Do you need some help?
Yes, please.
Come, my donkey is over here.
He took the man to an inn.
Here's some money. Please take care of him until I come back. So Hayden, who do you think was a good friend to the hurt man in our story today?
Well, I don't think it was the priest. He was too busy thinking about going to prayer.
Yeah, I don't think it was the priest.
What about the Levite?
No, he kept on going, saying something about washing his hands.
You're right. I think it's the Good Samaritan because he stopped and took care of the man.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, everyone is different, but you still need to help them. Even if they're mean to you, you should be kind back.
I agree.
Alright kids, that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed. Remember, we need to be kind to someone this week. So look out for someone that needs your help or that you can be especially kind to, and let's all be a good Samaritan. Bye!